Hey everybody, what's up? It is about 8:26 on this Wednesday morning. I didn't get a chance to do this yesterday or even late Monday because I've been fighting this cold, fighting this cough, if you will. Luckily, I've been taking the cough syrup, and I've also been recently been putting some Top Care, I guess you could say the generic version of Vicks Vapor Rub on the chest. So I was taking cough syrup, cough drops and all that to kind of feel better. Anyway, I thought I'd give my thoughts on excuse me. Excuse me. I thought I'd give my thoughts on this past Monday's Raw. And I have to say that I thought it was very good. I thought it was an okay, if not and actually a very good go-home edition of Raw. I mean, you had a lot of matches that centered around the Elimination Chamber. You did. Basically, you had three qualifying matches, so to speak. One qualifying match due to the fact that Rey Mysterio, storyline-wise, is excuse me, is out of the chamber. Is out of the chamber match, and Chris Jericho is in his place. We also found out that even though it wasn't much of a qualifying match, but it was more like a last impression qualifier, Jack Swagger is in, and now we know Kane's in. Excuse me. So we know those three are in. Those three are in, along with Mark Henry, Randy Orton, and Daniel Bryan. Now, there's a lot of unique perspectives that could play out of this Sunday's Elimination Chamber. I think one of the telling situations that could play out, of course, is Daniel Bryan and Kane. Because you got to think, everybody pretty much knows this is leading possibly to Daniel Bryan and Kane at Mania, possibly champion versus champion. We would assume. Because what better way to further this situation than to have Kane and Daniel Bryan kind of screw each other over in the chamber. Excuse me. So, it's this chamber, I will say that even though some people might say it's kind of underwhelming, may not be the most, star-studded chamber, it's going to be the most talkative and probably the most storytelling-wise, in a sense, because of not only, like I said, Daniel Bryan and Kane, as I mentioned, but you also have other storylines going into this. You got Mark Henry's situation that might lead into a match with Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania. I mean, I know a lot of people want to see Mysterio Sin Cara, but I think because of what happened at the hands of Mark Henry, I think they're going to probably point towards Mysterio Henry at WrestleMania. I know a lot of people are not looking forward to that. Not a lot of people are going to be happy about that, being another David versus Goliath match at WrestleMania, but hey, you got to think of it this way. They faced each other before, yes, but they've never faced each other at WrestleMania. If you think about it that way. Now, another thing that might come out of this, of course, storyline-wise, is you have Jack Swagger, who, as of this past Monday, is now being managed by Dirty Dutch Mantel, going back to his Zeb Cutler, or Cutler, whatever his Zeb character that he had back in the mid-90s, mid to sort of early late 90s, his mid to early late 90s that he had. His Zeb Coulter, that's the name, Zeb Coulter character. And many people are speculating now that because of the gimmick that Jack Swagger has, along with Dutch Mantell being of real Americans, real patriots, and all that, a lot of people are speculating that Jack Swagger will be the one to walk out of the chamber the winner and face Del Rio at WrestleMania. A lot of people are speculating on that. So, you have that, and then of course you have the wild cards of Randy Orton. You have Randy Orton as a wild card. Nobody knows exactly what role he's going to play. People are speculating that he'll be the one that wins, but we don't know that. We don't know. You see, a lot of people don't know exactly where Randy's at. And a lot of people wondering, what is WWE doing with Randy Orton? What is he? Well, you see, Randy Orton is kind of, if you will, in a situation that if you watch SmackDown this upcoming Friday, from what I read from last night's spoilers, wants to get back into that heel persona. He wants to get back into that heel persona. So, you want to look at it like that. But then again, we don't know that. We don't know if that's what WWE's got planned for Randy Orton, at all. We don't know what they're doing. I mean, right now, basically, the thing is, they're still waiting on Sheamus to be their face. Or they're waiting for Del Rio to establish himself. Sheamus or Del Rio to establish one of themselves, if not both, as the baby faces of SmackDown. And again, I understand a lot of people are just saying, hey, get it over with, make him a heel right now, he's better suited with that. I admit it. I admit he is, but the thing is, right now, they're doing what they can with him. And when you think about it this way, think about it this way right now. They recently brought back Jack Swagger, still a heel, and now associated with Zeb Coulter. They got Big Show still. They got Mark Henry back as a monster heel. So that kind of derails some plans as well. It does. It derails some plans. Because now you got to ask yourself, how are they going to make him a heel now if they've got all these major heels on their side? And then, of course, you got to add in the Shield. If you know what I mean. You got to add in the Shield. So, again, right now, Randy Orton is kind of like, he's in that tweener situation. He's in that anti-hero tweener situation where it's like, he still has the heel persona, but he's a babyface. He has the heelish movesets, but he's still a babyface. So he's a bit of a tweener right now. But anyway, also coming out of Raw, we basically now know we have a new tag team forming. And I guess Metal D at the OTRS was right about it, because these are two of his guys, if you will. Brodus Clay and Tenzai. Now, we don't know if they're going to probably put the belts on them or what's happening. We do know they end up getting... We do know they win a match on Friday, but there's also an aftermath situation that's not good for them, if you know what I mean. But anyway, we do realize, it does seem that WWE wants to get behind this team now. And if they do, then who knows, maybe they'll put the belts on them. I mean, think about it. they haven't beat Primo and Epico, who are former tag team champions. I mean, why would you bring back Primo and Epico onto Raw, along with Rosa, if you weren't going to use them to enhance a new team, and this new team being, of course, Tenzai and Brodus? I'm just saying. Now, speaking of Brodus, it seems that the Funkadactyls are getting more active again. Or not again, but finally getting more active, I should say. Getting more kind of like in with it with the Divas, like, you know, they did with Rosa on Monday. It's really good to see that. So maybe something good will come out of this. And I'm going to put it right down there. I'm going to say hashtag push Naomi. Because after what I saw in main event, this past week, WWE has to push Naomi. They got to push her no matter what. This girl can do shit that I have never seen before from a diva. Not since the days of Lita have I seen this. And that's saying something. So WWE push Naomi. Hashtag WWE push Naomi. Anyway, though, besides that, we also got the CM Punk situation with Paul Heyman, and now a lot of people are speculating what's going to happen here. See, CM Punk, of course, obviously wanted a stipulation, which was agreed upon, but Mr. McMahon obviously wants it in writing, that if Rock gets disqualified and counted out this Sunday, he loses the championship. Now, everybody pretty much would say, well, that usually indicates that the champion's going to retain. Right? That's usually the indication. And if you look back on a historical fact, usually the champion does retain. If you know what I mean. They do retain. But here's the catch-22 on this. Mr. McMahon said on the phone that he wanted Paul Heyman's words of that he will do anything to get the stipulation. He wanted the agreement, that promise, in writing. Right? So he got it in writing. And this is where I think everybody pretty much knows where it's going to lead. When Paul Heyman said, I will do anything to get this stipulation, and that Mr. McMahon, Vince McMahon, wants it in writing, what does that tell you fans? Exactly. What does it tell you? Exactly. That this is going to be the catalyst. This is going to be basically the catalyst, the foundation that starts and begins Triple H, Lesnar 2 at Mania. Because Paul Heyman said, hey, I'll do anything. I'll do anything to get this stipulation for CM Punk. And what does that do anything? Get him brought, and what is that going to lead to? Of course, that's going to lead to Lesnar, Triple H 2 at Mania. That's what it's going to lead towards. That's what it's leading towards, folks. That's why they had the agreement in writing deal. It's obvious. It's obvious that that's what it's leading towards. Now, if I'm wrong, I hope I'm wrong. I hope WWE tries to prove me and any of the other fans wrong, but I don't think any of us are going to be wrong about that. Now, as far as John Cena, Sheamus, Ryback, and The Shield goes, I give WWE credit for putting guys like Rollins, Ambrose, and Reigns in this kind of situation right now because it elevates them to main event status. It shows that these guys are not just ready for the main roster, but they're ready for main event status. And I think this six-man tag this Sunday is that final proving ground, that final test to see if they're going to make them the main event stars that they deserve to be in the eyes of many. Hold on for a second.